Alright guys, welcome back to Thompson Farmstead Adventures. We're back on the office build. It took a few days to take care of Matt's mom's house. Got the coach leveled out, didn't get any footage of that. Just took the panels off. Bought a 20-ton jack capacity right there, you know, bottle jack type deal. And then just blocked underneath it, jacked that thing up. 1/4 inch higher than it used to sit, or actually went up a 1/2 inch. And dropped it down 1/4 inch, and the back door lined out just right. It wasn't dragging anymore. And the window straightened out too. And we do have the bottom window that needs to be replaced out at a glass company. And this Friday, you know, I've got my drywall coming in to do the texture and spray and all that, and then I'll go back and do the paint for the ceiling and be done. But anyways, since we're back here, I'm gonna show you what we're doing. Excuse the flip around here. All right, went out and bought a plenum, put on top of the coil. We're getting the furnace closet over here set up. Close this drawer. And we had to figure out our height of the platform plus plywood, height of the filter and all that stuff. We come out to about 8 to 9 inches. And once we get this here going, then we can get the plenum up there. I'm gonna put 2 screws in it just to hold it in place. So when I get ready to set that unit, I'll have this face of the area still open. I won't have it framed out like that yet, but we'll have it still open after I get this taped and mudded, and I'm gonna texture coat it too and paint it before I set the equipment in there. But then I'll be able to pull the 2 screws, lift up as we slide the equipment into the closet and drop the plenum back down on it, and I can screw it from the top. Or I can screw it from the top of the coil, but I'll have play after I frame it out, drywall it and all that stuff. I'll have a little bit of play. And then I'll take my insulation like I always do, and then wrap around the coil after I tape it and seal it and everything else. So what we're doing, excuse my camera, I'm not using a stick. So what we're doing right now is we're taking and we're building the plenum. And it was at 48 inches. We cut it down to 31.5, was it? Mm-hmm. And we just went ahead and brought out my old trusty Ryobi and just put a cutting wheel on it instead of using tin snips, which, you know, I have all my tin snips, all my stuff here. My cutters, my nibblers. Where'd my nibblers go? Oh no. Right here. I'll show you this here. Is that separate yet? Or do you have one more cut? So cutting it with the cutting wheel doesn't cut. I don't cut all the way through to cut the insulation too. Just enough to skim across and get that cut. Almost like a plasma cut off the machine. So by doing it this way here, it saves a lot more time. Plus I can save that piece and make a new cap if I have a short plenum. So now we're going to cut in our 16 inch there. Real schematic, real quick, you know. Platform height, platform 3/4 inch, filter, which is my April Air setups that I like using. I think they're a lot better than Honeywell and any other ones that are out there. I've been selling the April Airs for 20 years, something like that. And of course, FAU height coil, so that gives me a total of 89 inches to the bottom of my plenum. So I had to figure out my heights because I got 16 inches over here. That's going to go on this way here. So it's going to go that way into the attic of the office to hit all these ducts. I got 2 more of these vents put out over here. And then I have the 9 inch that's coming off the side here. It's going to come off over there, go up and over the beam. I'm going to TY it here just so I can hit the vent in the bathroom. I think it's 4 inch. I'm not sure. It could be 5. My wife. And I have another one of those vents right there, as you can see right here. That'll stick out facing that way. And then I have 2 more. One's going to go here and one's going to go over there to blow out to the shop. And the office ones will be an 8 inch because I have an 8 inch marked out in the back. I got a 9 inch marked out right there. With the 8 inch in the back, I have plenty of room. I might have to cut the collar down a little bit, but it'll supply for these 2 guys here. for this office. And like I said before, we got R10 that came with the building, and then we put R30 in the middle, behind the metal wall, and we framed it out 3.5 inches, 2x4. Put R13 in. So we got R53 on this wall, that wall, R19 on this wall, and we're going to go probably, I think I can get by with the R. I don't know. I'm thinking if I just go by R19, or if I get R19 in the rock wool, because it's a lot more denser. This works better than this stuff. You know, it's more soundproof and everything else. So I might just do the ceiling here, and then that ceiling that we covered up, you saw in the other footage. Wind's been blowing. We're trying to get this HVAC stuff done in the back here, so we can get the plywood done. So I get the plywood out, so I can build this wall up, and then I can start covering up that ceiling. And once I get the drywall up, because once I get the wall up, I have to screw the top plate wall into the hat channel up there. So can't put the drywall in, so I'm going to butt the drywall up against the wall, and I'm not going to drywall the inside of these walls here. Don't need it, but I'm going to drywall the outside, and I'll staple on some nice insulation up there, some R13 or whatever I have. But I want it stapled up. I don't want that white stuff that we bought that has no facing. So anyways, so that's what we're getting going on right there. This little tool, some guys will pay for, excuse me. Some guys will put screws in here. I don't like doing that. I'm going to cut out the holes and then use our duct sealer, seal it up on the inside and outside. I like to seal up all the holes where the plenum, where we cut out, and we have the dovetails. I like sealing the inside, I like sealing the caps, I like sealing where they're connected together. This is one piece for this one side, so we'll seal over here down so these guys don't blow apart and fray. And I like to seal where we have a spot pin. And we'll get all that done. So we're working on the FAU so we can work the ducts out of the way so it's not so tight if we were to put the plywood in first. And then once we get that done, then we can start putting the plywood, and I can start building that wall and start getting the rest of the drywall up, and then we can start working on the office area. So we keep this part here on the inside always, and that way we just haven't. That's just the way I like doing it, in case the flange is too short. And then we just do one on each end and one in the center. Simple little tool. I think they sell these tools at the big box stores, you know, the orange one or the blue one. But probably order them online too. Dimplers. All they do is do a dimple. Nice little tiny dimple, just like that. It sets it on both sides. You have it there, and you have it on the back side. Just like that. There's a brand name to it here. Malco SL1. I don't know what that means. But who knows what the brand, what the model numbers are these anymore. But that's what they look like. All they do is just do a nice little dimple. I'm showing on my house for the past, since July of 2020. I've been having Matthew work with us, and so I've been showing him all kinds of stuff. So this is for him as well as you guys. So basically, the way I usually knock out my holes, I just do that and get it started. Now, this here, Harbor Freight. I think I paid $1 for it, man. So I bought 2 of these because they had the area for the ratchet button. This one here I've mushroomed out. And the other one I had from Harbor Freight is the old wooden handle one. I think I paid $1 for that one 2 years ago. So now that we've got those things built in that way, where's my switch at? I like using the WIS, called WISS. I'm getting all messed up from the humidity out here and everything. But I like using these guys here better than the Malcos and stuff. I had Malcos before, but for me, I just go back to these guys. So it's not that hard. I'm going to get it started. I had Matthew take the collar, and I have this stamped together. These are the standard sheet metal collars. You'll find other ones with a little flange on it. Has a little more meat, and then the dovetail. Those are for duckboard, for like the duckboard plenums that are coming out, like the Aspens and all the other. Or if you make your duckboard plenum out of duckboard. And anyway, so I had him hold it down, put the material over it, just put it down, trace on the outside of it, and then you cut. Excuse the noise. And you cut right on the outside of that line. When you do that all the way around, since the dovetails and the collars kind of meet up, like right here is where you're looking at. This is rolled out, this is been notched out, of course, but this area here is the same. So that means when you cut on the outside of that line, this will slide in with no problem. And once we get this hole cut, I'm going to cut it out real quick. I'll do this. Cut outside the line, and you'll come to some of the obstruction. I was looking at the pin right here and went off my line there. The pin's in the way. Sometimes you can squeeze by them, sometimes you can't. So I'm going to reach inside and get rid of that one. Sometimes it just matter wiggling back and forth to get them out of the way. There, break the wall. Get that out of the way. Don't have to lift up too much using these side cutters. The other ones that are common that you'll find it. Let me get around here. Show you the other ones that are more common people use. Do this here real quick. I happen to pick the biggest collar to do this with. Oh, and this plenum is a 1/2 inch shorter than this cap. So that's where this manufacturer did it. I'm not happy with that at all. But, you know, once we seal it and all that, make it look pretty. Grab the duck knife. Right there. Grab the duck knife. Keep these things sharpened up, man. They're great for fish. Oh, okay, that's right. This stuff's not even glued in there. It's just pinned. And that's what's upsetting also about this company. I'm not mentioning any names, but this is why I have to take the extra step of masking off once we put this, that's horrible. God, I hate that. No spray glue, just pin it. Just straight pin. Here, hand it to me. Let me see the camera. Okay. Now, where I come from, you know, they got some spray glue. It's kind of, that's hokey, man. That is hokey. You know, it is what it is. This is what's available to me out here. Again, I have my California contractor's license. Had it since '92. Moved out to Oklahoma. I'm 60 years old, going on 60. I don't think I want to go through all the trouble and get my contractor's license out here, but I have made friends with 2 different guys that own their companies, and this stuff comes from a local place that sells to the public. So they're a little bit more than if you were to buy, if I was to buy from a supplier. But the thing of it is that I'm not doing it full time anymore. I'm just doing it for myself, maybe some rentals, or if I build another house. If I build another house or move on to another place, I'll hit up my buddies and I'll just order everything through their account and pay them a little extra for their help, you know. But anyways, yeah, I'm just not happy with these plenums, but let me show you why. My collars start from where my seam is, and I always put a screw in there so it doesn't pop them loose. I always start like this, actually I'll do from the next one over. And go around about 4 spacing. That way I have something to bite on the inside, hold that insulation. That's all it doesn't matter. Now if I cut this right, it could go in. If not, I'm gonna have to trim it up. Yeah, looks like I might have a little trim. This small hair, because I didn't fall outside the line. If you can see black, that means I didn't cut it the way I'm trying to tell you to do. But hey, I'm going to trim it up a little bit here. Right on that. So now there's a fish hook. Not no more. All right, color. So a little trim. Now I'm going to push up the insulation. So each one of these little dovetails will hold it in place. Since it's not spray glued that well. Gosh, frustrating. You pay good money for stuff that's just not very good quality. Now I've got it up to pretty good. Alright, sheet metal hammer, now just tap in all the other ones. Tap them over. And then I'll reach inside. And turn it over flat. I use the side of this now. Close. And there. So now what we'll do next, put some screws on it. We've got 6 screws here. I normally use a zip, but this will work. Just gotta go a little slower. Be a little more patient with it. If you end up throwing your used screws back in with your new ones, they start walking on you. So put them separately. Or if you buy a bad brand that just don't have a drill tip on them. All right, quick follow up here. This is what we do to the inside. Since the lid is separate, and then the seam's right here for this piece and the seam here for that piece. These aren't cut right there, so we don't have to worry about pookie in that area. Yeah, we call it pookie. Pookie. Anyways, not doing these areas in case I have to pop them off, and use S's, which is a duct connector. Anyways, we got it all cleaned up, all that. As you can see there, we do that so it'll hold that insulation in place since I didn't glue this very well. Here's the outside of it. All the way down. Seams on each side. That's the way it's done, guys. Right there. We've been kind of bouncing back and forth between the house and Matthew's mom's house. We finished everything that we had to do over there as far as the roofing, doors, this, that, and the other, replace the window and all. Now we're working on building her a shed and a front porch. We're just going to slap some stuff together, try to do it as cheap as possible, keep the cost down, and but make it to where it's safety for her to get up and down it, because right now the way the door is right there at the stairs, you know, you get knocked over. And I'm going to put a little metal roof on top to help keep the rain and all that stuff from coming down on them when they're going in the door with the groceries and stuff like that, you know. Anyways, so we'll be heading over there tomorrow, Tuesday. Today we've taken care of all the chickens, taking care of the bags of feed that I purchased over the weekend, getting them in the storage containers so we can feed them, you know, the rest of the next 2 months. And we finally got the 2 furnaces down out of the attic that we had up there that were existing from the house when I purchased it. And we'll be using this one here to put for the shop. As you can see, it's inside the shop here, but we're putting inside the shop. Let me show you what's going on here. So we put the April air filter on the bottom, which is my biggest seller out there. I sold more of those than I did Honeywell or any other brand. I just like them better. Although I would sell the Honeywell electronic air cleaners, because those were pretty good at the time. I'm sure they've improved since then, and there's a lot of good other Honeywell products that they have out there. But this was up in the attic. It was laying on its side. This was facing down, and they cut out the darn side of it so they can put the drainage pieces out. This piece here was sticking halfway out. Well, I gotta clean it all up, get it back in order, make sure everything's in good working order. I know the heat exchanger is not bad. I know the thing works great and is not bad at all. All this here is from when it was laying on its side, you know, this part facing down. The condensate wasn't glued in. So what was happening, it was dripping down, and that's what created all this rust. That's where the plenum's at. Still gotta get the mud and tape and everything on it, and then texture it and paint it, because I like things nice and clean. And let's get around here. Anyways, we're using really good sticky tape. Let me see a piece. Let me see the roll. Thanks. Here it is right here. You want some tape that sticks real well, because once you get the stuff on and it gets hot, you ain't getting it off. As you can see, it's rolled mastic sealant. It's a nice rubbery compound to the back side of it. And this stuff works great. I use it for all my duct seals, that or the duct sealant itself, you know, like I showed you right up here, right there. Haven't done too much in this area because we have been over at Barbara's house. But now that we got the plenum up there at the 16-inch, once we get that 16-inch on and out into this area here more, because we only have like, I don't know, less than 2 feet. I think about 18 inches. You can tell that's a 16-inch duct. So it would be hard to do that if the plywood was in here and the drywall was on, you know, to the areas that I need to put it on, which is stopping right there anyways. But anyways, excuse my voice. So we're just kind of fiddling around, just trying to get stuff done. A little here, a little there. Tomorrow we'll be back over at Barbara's, knocking that out. So we're gonna break from the little bit of stuff that we're doing here and get the truck loaded up and get over there in the morning and get things taken care of that we need to take care of. Hopefully it'll take us maybe 2 days to get those two done. So like I said, we're just knocking it together. We'll be caulking the seals on the anywhere I need to caulk on the storage unit. But we're not painting anything, staining nothing, you know, we're just going bare wood, just so she has access to a storage unit to protect her stuff, and a way to get up and down the steps into her coach without any issues. So it's not going to be elaborate. It's going to be basically a slam together thing, and we'll go from there, see what happens. And then if she's got enough money left over for her cars in the back patio, you know, we'll look at that too. Because I'm trying to help her out, make her money stretch from the damage that happened from that Father's Day storm. So, you know, give her the most out of what she can, you know. So basically just helping her out. Anyways, we'll get back to all giving you guys more content. This is what's happening for today, which is really not much. And we'll see y'all soon. God bless.